Hi, I'm Glenn Whipp with the Los Angeles Times. Portlandia just finished its 4th season, and joining us today, Fred Armisen.
Hi.
Welcome.
How you doing?
I kind of wanted to say live from Los Angeles.
You still can.
Yeah, it's not too late.
Never too late.
I mean,
I'm happy. By the way, I'm so psyched to be here. This building is beautiful. We're in downtown LA right now, and it's just such a cool, old, beautiful building.
well, glad you made the effort to come. You're in LA now, right?
Yeah. I spend a lot of time here, and we're writing season 5 right now of Portlandia, so we're doing that here.
Okay.
So sometimes we do some of it in Portland, so we'll get to that later, but for all of June we'll be here.
Yeah, usually isn't it that you kind of leave this time and head up to Portland and start sort of putting it together?
Yeah, but a lot of our writers are from here,
right?
So we thought let's start here, and it's been going great.
And then you move up there, to finish writing, or to
finish writing, and then pre-production and shooting and everything, and just starting our life there. You know, we're there all summer, all the way through October or something.
How much time do you feel like you need to spend in Portland to kind of check in on what's going on in the city for the next season?
There's a combination of like being there for a couple weeks, let's say, I don't know, 3 weeks or something, but there's also this other thing. All the writers, we live in different places, and it's all of us sort of collecting that lifestyle from different cities. So when I'm in New York, the little things, I'll pick up on it. When Carrie's in Portland, she'll pick up on a few things. Or when we travel, I was in Austin, and there's little bits and pieces there, and even here. I'm in Silver Lake and Echo Park, and here downtown, there's plenty of things to sort of try to take in and try to figure out if there's a way to have it be part of the show.
So what have you been seeing in Silver Lake or downtown that you've jotted down, like maybe an idea or two?
I've jotted down some things into my phone. Some of them I don't want to say yet, because I don't know if it'll come to fruition. I'm like, well, I think this could be something. That's where we're at now. But I will say, in Silver Lake, I was going down Sunset, and I saw a guy playing guitar. Now, he wasn't sitting down, collecting money and sort of playing music for everybody. He was walking alone, kind of longish hair, no shoes, and just playing an acoustic guitar. So it wasn't entertainment for anybody. He was just like a guy walking around playing. And that's always a weird thing to me. I've seen that before, where they're not out to do it for anybody, but they're also not home. This guy wasn't a homeless guy. He was just sort of, I could tell he just sort of woke up and decided to walk around playing guitar. So I don't know, maybe something in there.
Sort of a wandering troubadour sort of thing. But no hat, he wasn't.
Yeah. Maybe not even singing. I think he was just playing, So it's just that kind of thing I kind of like, because it's a happy thing, It's not like he wasn't struggling or anything. He just had a lot of time on his hands.
Maybe it's kind of a combination. You get your guitar practice in and a little exercise too. It's a very kind of LA thing. Right?
Oh, that's true. Also getting a tan.
Getting a tan. Yeah.
I think he didn't have a shirt on. I don't know.
Well, I remember this season? I think it was the first episode, but maybe it was the second one. Beets.
Yes.
Where did beets come from? Because
that was like that was like 911 beats, and like, what's your emergency? And then we play these emergency workers, but it turns out that what people think might be something.
How do we put this?
How do we put it? Let's just say that what people might think is a medical emergency, an internal medical emergency, turns out to be that they ate beets. And that came from, that's this other area of writing where, like, we have this idea that makes us laugh, but we're like, we can't really do that. Let's write some real sketches. But then it keeps kind of reappearing and hovering around, so we're like, let's just write it and get it out of the way, and maybe we'll do it. And then if it stays alive, like a Frankenstein monster or something, then we think it's worth shooting. And then it ends up in the edit, and that's one of those weird accidents. It's a weird, like, experiment accident. And it just, it ends up on the show.
It probably started from somebody having a beet salad for lunch, and then, as you say, an internal
Yes. Yeah.
medical issue there. Yeah.
And what's fun, I think the thing that kind of links it all together is whenever we start talking, and if we all say, "Oh yeah, that happened to me," that's when we go, "Oh, that maybe this might be worth it," because it sometimes met with total silence. I've walked in and go, "Has this happened to anybody?" And then everyone's no one's really, agreeing with it. Then we're like, "Okay, well, that's not a sketch."
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it was the celery episode, Celery Guy, where Steve Buscemi played the celery guy, who's sort of down on his luck among all the other vegetable people because celery has sort of fallen out of favor.
Yes.
And I hadn't thought about that until I watched the episode, and I was like, it's true. I don't see celery anymore.
Yeah. Vegetables kind of come in and out of fashion, and there's like, I don't know what the time cycle is. I don't know, every 3 years or every 2 years, there's a vegetable that all of a sudden you see on menus all over the place. Brussels sprouts, kale. I feel like
kale is insane.
It's insane. It's on menus as if it's a new invention. Like in omelets and like whoa. And we were just thinking, okay, what's the opposite? What's the vegetable that no one's talking about anymore? And we thought of a few, and that's the one that really spelled it out. And then when we thought of who can play celery, because it was kind of like almost like a fantasy sketch, it was a little surreal. And then we thought, oh, Steve Buscemi, that was our dream guy for it. And then we're like, oh wait, we know him. So that was a matter of texting.
Yeah.
And then coincidentally, he said that he had been cooking with celery and was commenting that people don't like it enough.
Well, I love the moment in that episode. Carrie plays his wife, and they're sort of brainstorming for ideas, like to put celery back on top, and she's saying, well, what about ants on a log?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. And he's up, I've been laughed at over that,
Because ants on a log is good. It's just so funny that even the name of it is so, like, I feel sorry for the name. I'm like, oh, ants on a log. Like, it's so innocent, so I don't know. There was something about that, too, that, like, spelled out how uncool it is.
Yeah.
And we kind of wanted, our hope was more that it would start turning into a cool vegetable again. So maybe as the, episode keeps getting watched, maybe people will be all for celery again.
It'll start trending on Twitter, and then you'll be at a party, and or we'll go out to breakfast and celery omelet. Right.
When that happens, I'm going to pay royalties to the celery organization, farmers or whatever. I'll just be like, okay, I owe you guys.
Yes. Well, that episode, there were two that were sent out. Did you see this?
I have not seen this. Let's have a look.
It's very cool.
It was like a single.
Like a little 45.
Wow.
And there was that.
This is well designed.
You haven't seen that?
No, I have not seen it. I'm sure somewhere along the line we approved it, and it's always like, and whenever we approve stuff, it's all through email. It's like, great, okay, fine. So I like these photos, but I like that they turned it into a single.
Yeah, the second episode in that on the disc was the Getting Away.
Yeah.
Where you guys, and it's a real sort of standalone episode. It's like an actual show, isn't it? The characters are all together, and you guys, it's heading out to New Beavertown, right?
Yeah.
Where various agendas are. Everybody has a different thing they want to do in this sort of getaway place.
Yeah. We like to end the seasons usually with something that an episode that kind of has like a bigger theme, so it feels more like an ending. And that one was about we couldn't figure out how to do it, but we were thinking that like every city has their other place they go to. So it's almost like a collective. Everyone just says to each other, like, "Hey, are you going to?" I don't know what it'd be for LA. I almost feel like, for some reason, I feel like Joshua Tree. I keep hearing that. They're like, we're going to Joshua Tree, or maybe Ojai or something.
Ojai was what I was thinking.
Yeah. One of those. So we were just trying to think of like what's a way to get sort of everyone, like there's this big movement to go to the same place. It's almost like a city kind of picks up and then lands somewhere else. So that's what that was. And then all this stuff of all the characters showing up there, that's just how the show is. We have so many characters, and it just all worked out. We just had tons of ideas for it, so and all fell into place.
And one of them was a retreat for the sisters.
Yeah.
Where Katie Lang is part of it too.
Yeah, she was really, really great. We were really pleasantly surprised. She was really amazing and natural and funny, and she was such a great guest star.
And you had to, in that episode, there was sort of a natural disaster unfolding.
Yeah.
Because the beavers got very angry.
Yeah.
We won't, go into great detail,
right.
but justifiable anger, I think, and pent up rage over many years of injustice, right?
Yes.
And you guys had to all go out into the river and join hands.
Yes.
In your underwear.
Yes, we had a line of women with us that all sort of held on tight to each other, and we had to sort of stop this flow of this river.
Mm-hmm.
So we really shot it like that. It was pretty crazy and freezing.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
It's freezing.
Even in the summer.
When you watch a movie, water looks so nice. You're like, oh, how hard could that have been? Even when I hear about people filming movies and they say it was freezing, I'm like, how cold could it be? But it is a really relentless. I can't believe how ice cold a river can be. It is definitely unforgiving. Yeah, and also and people who actually go to nature know this, but I don't. That also the power of water is just so, it does not care about people at all.
Right.
It has no consideration. It's very rude. Rivers should know that people are trying to camp and try to enjoy it, but they just don't care. Very selfish, I think.
So did it take a while to find a spot in the river where you wouldn't be carried away?
Yeah, and it was hard to find a spot, and also rocks appear like you're supposed to step on them. You're not supposed to. They're so slippery. So it's all the way through. There's not a place to settle. So once we were sort of locked arms, I remember just wanting them to just shoot and get the scene over with.
You were holding on tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the sound, you can't, because we were so half naked, you can't put microphones on ourselves. So they had this boom mic, and boy, life is hard.
Not even on TV. Not even on that
bra. It's so funny complaining about this stuff.
You had a bra on.
Yeah, for some reason that didn't work because of how did they do it? Because of the pack or something? I can't remember. But the miking situation was a little insane. Maybe they put it in the bra? I can't remember now.
You were just trying to hold on for dear life and not die in the power of the water.
Yes.
Yes. So it's hard to remember anything else.
Yeah. I think they had a sort of snorkel scuba guy down the river a little bit in case anything happened. You need safety things. And so that was exciting, and then I was like, wow, I'm on a real, shoot. I'm actually filming something. So like
a stunt sort of. Yeah. There was a safety precaution. Even on your low budget show, they sprang for the safety person.
That's an area where you can't really, you can't really cut corners. So for me, it's like, when you're a little kid and you imagine, oh, what if I get to be on TV someday? You picture stuntmen and you picture all that stuff. So that was kind of cool.
Now, this past weekend,
Yeah.
IFC did a thing where they turned Runyan Canyon into Beaver Canyon.
Yeah.
Did you hike up there?
I did. Well, I went part of the way because hiking all the way is that is far, and it's sunny. I should just say that I went all the way up. No, I went to the areas where they were starting, but I didn't go all the way to the top. Runyan is a very serious hike.
Yeah.
That's not. It's very steep and that's serious. But I went and it was it was really cool. I like that they were doing it, and it was a very positive energy, and they were giving out these water bottles, and so it had these characters on there.
Uh-huh.
Candace and Tony. So I thought that was nice.
So you made it safe from parking your car up to where the...
Yeah, the entrance.
The entrance.
In fact, the parking was so hard that it was far away. Look at these complaints I have. What is wrong?
So it was
parking was so hard. So the hike for me was
from the
going
car,
all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, to the entrance.
God,
that tired you out.
That did actually tire me because it was sunny, But
so you got your water bottle and just headed back to
went
the car.
back.
Yeah.
Shook some hands, took some pictures, and turned on the air conditioning in my car, and I was in heaven again. But there were so many fit people around. Like, I can't believe how many groups of people there are jogging and running, and even at Runyan, there would be like just a bunch of people doing push-ups, and someone's shouting at them, and they're clapping. It's just like, this is such a fit city.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more troubling to me, that the random people just out in the middle of nowhere doing push-ups than the guy walking down in Silver Lake with the guitar. That I can understand a little bit better.
This is like, these people are up early, sweating it out. I would just opt not to do it sooner, and go get breakfast.
Right. A celery omelet.
A celery omelet.
Or kale. Yeah.
Yeah, depends on the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the giveaway? There were you mentioned a water bottle. Was that, I just read, special female magic cones.
Yeah, that's for going to that's for campers, I think. But it's a real product so that they can use the facilities without using the facilities.
I see.
So it was I like that there are these inventions that make their way out there.
And earlier it was last week, I guess, you did a debate.
Oh, that was so fun.
In character.
Yeah.
Candace and Tony, right?
Yeah.
That was fun, huh?
Yeah, against some real professors
of
gender
studies. Gender studies.
Yeah, it's really weird because it was at this bookstore right here downtown, and it was kind of a jokey debate. We didn't want to make it too real, but then they brought up some subjects that I was like, oh, I kind of do want to talk about it a little bit. It's like about female characters in cartoons and animated, movies that come out. The sort of disparity between male and female, it's something that can be discussed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we joked around a lot, and then afterwards I thought, oh man, I would love to talk about it more.
This iPad really needs to be cleaned.
Yes, this iPad needs to be cleaned, guys. You know what I have a good method for doing that is just put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have so many iPads. I have so many iPads that I could just line them up like plates. But then they all break.
So there are people from Portland asking, well, when are you going to be up filming?
It's July. July's pre-production, and then towards the end we start shooting, and then all through August and September.
When you return up there, are you greeted like the returning conquering hero sort of thing?
Yeah, like a king.
Do you get to jump line at Voodoo Donuts?
Oh, I have a Voodoo Donuts just built into my house, and I just have they're really nice to me up there. It's kind of great. I used to go there as a tourist. I used to go there and just hang out and get a cup of coffee, and people are really, really nice there. It's such a beautiful place. It really is.
Is it harder to film there now that the show's kind of had some success? Because you're out and about. And
it's actually it's easy because a lot of our filming is in people's houses. So we actually go door to door, or not we, the organization goes and they say, hey, can we film this scene at the house? And now that people know the show, they say, sure.
Yeah.
And
whereas before it was like a little strain. You're like,
yeah, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
So now, we've been in so many houses. It's crazy. The thing we found in common with all these houses, in the basement, and this is not an exaggeration, I'm not joking about this, there's always a drum kit.
Really?
So it's like this thing where like grown-ups, where I used to think that like drums and guitars and stuff were for like, this one generation of people who were into music, but it's like now, parents and grandparents, it's just like amps and drums are part of, of a house now.
So it's not like a leftover thing from a kid who is 8 years old and it's just cobwebs and stuff. It's an actual...
It's the dad. It's the dad or the mom. Like, it's, playing drums.
That's good for
jamming. It's great.
You have a drum kit right there for you.
Always.
Keep active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used one in one of the sketches a couple seasons ago, but yeah, they're just everywhere.
Have you been digging being the band leader on Seth Meyers' show?
It's great.
Fantastic.
It's really fun, and I still am involved long distance. I have a long distance relationship, but I watch all the time, and and it's actually kind of cool doing it in that way too, where as a viewer, I'm like, okay, what does the audience hear? What does the audience see? Because when you watch a late night show, you're like, what is the band? What's happening? So it's kind of nice getting into it and seeing what that's about.
So you will, obviously Portlandia is your priority right now.
Yeah.
But you'll be dropping by when you can.
When I can.
Yeah.
And then when we're done. So it's this kind of part-time job that I get to have. I feel very fortunate that I get to do it. Especially because it's music, and especially with the band that it's friends of mine. So I like the idea of my friends playing music on TV.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and obviously you and Seth have the great sort of rapport, and it's fun when he sort of asks you, "Oh, what have you been up to?" and he just throws you something, right?
Yes, and I never know what it is.
You've been cast in the new Star Wars movie.
Yeah, that one. Oh, that was it's so weird because I try to maintain looking like I know what I'm talking about, and sometimes I just start talking without thinking, and so I cross my fingers and hope for the best. That something good comes out.
Which is kind of how the show goes a little bit too, right? I mean, the improv. I was talking to Kyle, who plays the mayor, Kyle MacLachlan, and he was recalling the anthem of Portland.
Yes.
And how he had to come up with the lyrics pretty much on the spot, and he was kind of freaking out inside.
Yeah.
But it did okay.
He did great in that, and it's two things. It's like it's almost like you just want it to sound like it's coming from the actual person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we I don't know. I just feel like had we written out lyrics for him, he'd have to try to memorize it, and it's not as fun as him trying to come up with stuff.
There's a question, a lot of Portland people wondering, since you've featured the Blazers, the Trailblazers, the basketball team, will you be featuring the Winterhawks? I have no idea who the Winterhawks are.
No, I'm curious about this.
Do you not know?
No.
In the new season? Well, it's like a team.
I feel like saying, tell me more.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Okay.
The Winterhawks, yeah,
We'll Google it. It sounds like
hockey?
Yeah.
Sounds like hockey.
Hawks, winter, ice, cold.
But if it was a tennis team, that'd be funny if they called themselves the Winterhawks.
Well, it's cold. Portland is, is sort of cold.
Yeah, it's kind of rainy.
Yeah.
Kind of overcast.
So anything could be Winterhawks.
Yeah.
Right.
But Portland doesn't have that, it never gets, icy, you know what I mean? Like that Minneapolis cold. So...
It's always just kind of cloudy and a little cool.
It's like it reminds me of England a lot. It's like being in England.
Okay. Yeah. Are you, for the 5th season, any sort of new? I mean, I get the 4th season was just fantastic, and it just feels like you guys are able now. I mean, it's kind of like what you're saying with the house, and I mean, because you're up and running, you have the tone, you have the thing going.
Yeah. So
now you can just sort of take it deeper and into sort of new directions.
Oh, it's a really fortunate thing in that also it's the same writers, so we all speak the same language, we all have the same goal. It's really fun. Yeah, it's like the writing sessions are filled with ideas.
Well, that's the thing that I like about the show is the humor is very positive. You're sort of, it's gentle, which is great. But I was seeing where Carrie was saying that these people are pretty much you guys anyway. So I mean, you wouldn't want to be too hard on yourselves, would you?
No, and also there's a few different reasons for it being positive, and one of them is I think plainly is that it bums audiences out.
Yeah.
I think I learned that a little bit at SNL. It was a huge education there, where you could feel the audience, and as soon as you start going a little negative, they sort of tune out a little. So it's a mechanical thing, It's not a moral, like we were trying to do good for the world. It's more like...
you want to be funny.
Yeah, I want to be funny, and also there's enough hardship in life, that we don't have to, zero in on it. That's good for other shows, but I don't know if we'd be that good at it.
Yeah. Well, just to wrap it up, there was a really long explanation on this, but
a long explanation of what?
The Winterhawks. But they're
let's hear it. Let's hear
it. I like. There was like a 2-paragraph explanation, but now it's just been boiled down. They're a Western Hockey League team in Portland.
Wait a minute. Who told you this?
Somebody on Twitter.
So someone is watching that immediately that they were able to answer it?
Yes.
What's
they're in the Canadian Hockey League. That's why.
Oh, they're in the Canadian Hockey League.
But how is Portland? I guess it's sort of like an honorary Canadian.
Yeah,
right?
It seems actually very Portland. We've also included the soccer team there, the Timbers.
Aren't they big? Yeah.
They're huge, and when you go to the stadium to watch them play, you feel like you're in another country. They're really into it. The fans. There's a section of the fans that bring drums, so it's like dun, jigga, dun, jigga, jigga, jigga. It's like this. You actually feel like you're not in this country. Like, where am I? And so, including something like the Winterhawks would be a cool thing. I like the idea of like, it's almost like Portland found a way to have alternative sports.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they were were the kings of alternative music in a way and lifestyle, and now they're like, oh, we're going to do it with sports too.
What could be next for them? What would be a...
Well, they've done alternative politics. Maybe alternative money.
Bitcoin, just to complete...
I think even, outside of Bitcoin. Something where they're like, we're going to go this other direction.
Yeah.
Or maybe alternative weather. I don't know, what else is it? Vehicles? Well, I guess they've done vehicles with bicycles. They've done it all.
Yeah. I read where... No, it was Carrie who was saying that the new mayor of Portland wants to be on the show, and she was saying only if he gets a face tattoo.
Yes.
Have you heard back from him?
We haven't heard back from him yet, but when we see the tattoo, then we'll know for sure.
Okay.
And we mean a complex, not jokey, but a really complex, well-done tattoo.
Maybe a celery stalk.
Maybe a celery stalk, maybe some cartoon characters, maybe words.
Okay.
You know? A page from the Oregon Constitution or something.
Outstanding.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, Fred, thanks for coming down.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Great.
This is a great place.
And for more television coverage, please go to latimes.com. Thank you.
Thank you.